that he lived on, which he named Siska, after the boat he won the medal with. Now these were, the canal homes were constructed in the 90s in 6 stages. We'll be floating through stage 1 today. Now they're designed in such a way to positively impact the environment. So you can spot the limestone walls lining underneath the buildings here. So originally this was all sand and dirt. What they did, they would dug up these channels where the boat's floating through now, put the sand to these elevated sites where the houses were built upon. And then from there they'll dig down and they'll make the wall on a slight angle. So it goes down on an angle where they put some jagged rocks. This will encourage sea life to grow there, so you'll get mussels, of course, sea plants as well. This will bring in your small fish, which will bring in your bigger fish, which of course will bring in your dolphins and your bird life also. So at the moment we are technically floating through their backyard. They do have road connections leading up to their front yard where they're able to park their nice fancy cars. But rather than having a big lawn, they've got for their own private jetty where they can park their big fancy boat. Some of you might spot there's a few empty plot of land still here in the canals. Some of them are still for sale, and the biggest question we get is how much is it to live here in the canal? So a plot of land usually starts at about $900,000, with the average price of around $2.5 million. Now sadly there is a catch. You can't just buy a plot of land and park a caravan on it and call it a day. You do have to pay equal to or greater than the original price you paid for it. Meaning that sometimes you can be spending a minimum of about $5 million just to live in the canals here. Now there are plenty of houses that have already pre-built. Some of them are apartment style, some of them would be like your own little units, like these ones coming up on the right hand side. Or like the ones on the left hand side, they're their own houses. The majority of them will be built on one plot of land, but you do get some that are built on 2 or more. And this will up the price of the amount that your house will sell for. So, for example, when we make our way underneath this bridge here, you'll see this terracotta colour building coming up in front of us on the left hand side of the corner. You see they've got some trees out the front with a nice grass lawn in their backyard. So that place sold a few years back for $5.4 million, which is the most a house has sold for in the canals. That house itself is built on 2 plots of land, but it was recently beaten in the beginning of last year, I believe, when a house sold for $8.7 million. That house itself sits on 3 plots of land. So the more land that it sits on, the bigger the house will be, and the higher the price will be also. Now the average a house will sell for nowadays is usually around $2 million, but of course it can be higher than that. Now because of time, we're going to have to turn around here, but if we were to keep on going down, we would eventually